Greetings, friend. This past week we studied in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, and you know that the gospel is really beginning to permeate when you find that you're laying down your rights to benefit and bless others. In 1 Corinthians 9, we saw Paul detailing all his rights, and then we see him laying them down one by one. He says he has the right to live in their homes and share their meals and marry a believing wife and expect financial support from all his labors in the gospel. And then he gives 4 analogies in rapid fire succession to prove his point. So he says, what soldier has to pay his own expenses? And what farmer plants a vineyard and doesn't have the right to eat some of its fruit? Or what shepherd cares for a flock of sheep and isn't allowed to drink some of the milk? And then he says, am I merely expressing a human opinion, or does the law say the same thing? For the law of Moses says, you must not muzzle an ox to keep it from eating as it treads out the grain. In other words, even an oxen should benefit from the work that he does. So Paul has the right to expect certain things from the Corinthians, but he willingly laid down all those rights to promote the gospel. He wrote in 1 Corinthians 9:12, but we have never used this right. We would rather put up with anything than be an obstacle to the good news about Christ. So Paul looked for opportunities to lay down his rights, to give up his freedoms, to display the cross more fully to the people. He's told the Corinthians about Jesus. He said with his words that Jesus gave up his rights, laid down his freedoms, as it were, his right to heaven and so forth. And now Paul is in essence showing he's doing the same thing. He's laying down his own rights, giving up his own freedoms to display the cross. And so the point is that we can speak the gospel with our words. And how much better as we add to that spoken word our lives of giving up our freedoms, of laying down our rights in order to display the gospel of Jesus Christ.